What's up, divas? What's up, divos? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. What's up? What's up? It's your girl A, aka April. What's up, everybody? What's up? I hope y'all all are having like a really great day when you're watching this real talk. You know what I'm saying? Being motivated, staying out the way, staying positive. Girl, listen, just staying alive, girl. I'm blessed to be here. I woke up above ground. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday. You know, I normally will do these real talks on Monday, but lately I've been doing them like in the middle of the week while I'm getting ready for like to do another video. I like to be able to chit chat with you guys. You know what I'm saying? I feel like chit chatting with you guys relieves a lot of stress, but I also feel like y'all are sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though it's probably like I'm talking to my own self, I just feel like y'all are still here. So what's up? Okay. Girl, let me tell you, I thought I would look cute for y'all today. Got on a half wig. Okay. Now let me just say this. I haven't worn a half wig in like forever. When I tell y'all forever, in a long minute. Okay. This is how I started off wearing wigs, is with half wigs. This is my very first wig experience, is with a half wig, because I wasn't really trying to go out there with a regular wig on. You know, when I first started out wearing wigs, it was like, my daughter is now 18. So it was like 18 years ago. That was my first experience wearing wigs. And you know, I don't even remember if they had lace front wigs, and if they did, you know what I'm saying? It really wasn't like all of that. Like the first lace front wig had like this much lace on it. It was just like the trimming of the hairline. So that's how they started off. There was no parting. Girl, the parting was like half an inch, okay? There was no parting. So I used to wear those damn near pushed back so that, you know, make it look natural. But I started off wearing the half wig, and that is what I was actually known for on YouTube, is during wearing the half wigs and making them blend. But I haven't worn half wig in a long minute because my hair is thinner in the front, and my hair is not full enough like it used to be able to camouflage that, you know, that part where it's just different at. So I haven't worn them in a minute. I like to wear the half wigs out, like, you know what I'm saying? No braids or anything. I want you to think that it's mine. I want to give the illusion of it's mine, okay? But this is the best that I could do for my own hair. I mean, I think this style is cute too. I went ahead and twisted my hair up. I do have a video of it. I will get it up soon, this week probably. But this wig that I have on is by the brand called Better Length. Now, I've worked with them forever. Not forever, but I haven't worked with them in like forever is what I meant to say. And like, I've been in this house like 12 years, so I haven't worked with them in like 9 years. So when they contacted me, I was like, who? BL, like, you know, that's what I be calling them, BL for Better Length. I was shocked, okay? The same people were still working there. They still remember who I was. I was like, okay. But now besides clip-ins, they got half wigs, and they also have ponytails, which, okay, bitch, what? So this one is human hair. It's I think this is it's either 3A to 3B, 3A to 3B hair texture. So it mimics my own natural hair texture perfectly. Plus the color is dead smack on. I like this. It's 18 inches, it's human hair. You know, it got combs, a drawstring, and adjustable strap in the nape. This is perfect. I love this. This is summer ready. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be sweating and dying with a lace front wig. Like, I love wigs, but girl, I'm not about to jeopardize my life. I'm gonna jeopardize my life wearing a wig. So I love some wigs, but this one is really cute. I decided just to twist my hair, you know what I'm saying? Just to make it look a little different. Made me a little fishtail braid to go across. You know, I have a video, I'll get it up soon. It's definitely gonna be after this one right here, what y'all are seeing. But anyway, other than that, I hope y'all are having like a really good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Love whenever you're watching this video. Cheers to you. So first of all, I did just say, there's no weed today. Well, there was already weed. I already did my little business before y'all. Smoked it in my little weed pipe, my little bowl. Okay, and I really didn't want to smoke my bowl on camera with you guys because I don't really need nobody around here going about, oh, you know, April's a crackhead now. Look, we're not about to start no rumors, okay? I do like to smoke my weed sometimes in a bowl or in a bong, okay? I have those as well, but I'm not really gonna get on camera and do that. You know, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to have nobody calling me no motherfucking crackhead, okay? But anyway, so I did just mention to y'all that I've been on, my daughter's 18, so I've been on YouTube for 18 years. Mumsy just turned 18 on the 16th, this past Saturday. She turned 18 years old. Girl, y'all remember when she was like, when did I start? I think she was like 9 or 10 months old when I started YouTube. I wanna say, I think so. You know what I'm saying? On my very first channel, I think she was like a year old. And I'm so pissed. Like, now when you think about, like, I really try to make things not bother me. I don't wanna be bothered by shit too much in life. But then when you think about it, like for me, losing my very first channel is like a lot of memories. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my very old videos of me running the wig over with my minivan. Like I miss those videos. And though I can probably go back and find them somewhere, I do have some of them on an external hard drive. It's not all of those, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I miss my own self and my old self. You know what I mean? When I first started out. But girl, yeah, she turned 18 this past Saturday, okay? When I tell you, I'm like, what the hell? Where did the time go? Like, I swear to you guys, it just feels like I had pushed her out. Maybe not just, but 18 years have went by so quick. And I'm like amazed. Like now I don't have no babies. Like she's still my baby, but it's like almost like all of my kids are grown now. You know what I'm saying? She is the last of the Mohegans, the last. And it feels like, you know what I'm saying, all my kids are almost grown. But yeah, she turned 18 this past Saturday. She had, it wasn't a party, but she had I don't know what y'all want to call it because I don't be up on all this new terminology. A kickback, like what the fuck is a kickback? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the hell a kickback is. We just called it parties in my days or you know what I'm saying? Kickbacks. I don't remember anybody in the 90s calling it a kickback, but you know what I'm saying? Who am I to say? But she had like a dinner at the yard. Is it called the Yard House? The Yard House. I think that's what it's called. It's this really nice restaurant. She had that with her friends. I don't know how it was arranged. She did all of that. She told them that they were not to bring no plus ones, meaning you cannot bring your boyfriend or your girlfriend with you. No, it's just for my friends. This is not a dinner for them. Mom's gonna be real strict with her friendships. I noticed that. She's like really strict. And I'm like, I don't know if I would want to be your friend. She's like a good friend, but she's kind of strict. Like she stands firm on what she says. Like, you really told them that they couldn't bring their boyfriend? You even told your own boyfriend that he wasn't invited. Like, I don't know. I couldn't be your girl. Yeah. She's really strict with the friendships, but she's a great kid. So yeah, she turned 18 this past Saturday. She looks so pretty. She picked out her own little outfit and stuff. You know, I hooked up her wig, her little lace front wig, but yeah, time is going by, guys. Time is definitely going by. For real. So let me tell y'all, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm like not really like a picky person, but sometimes I'm the type of person, I'm like very emotional at certain times. And it is not even at certain times with certain people. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. So I bring my granddaughter to daycare every morning, Monday through Friday, after I drop Tinky off, you know what I'm saying? And she was moved up to a class. It's a daycare, but I call it a school because they go by like there's classrooms and stuff. So I bring her in. She was moved up to the 3s. Now she's already 3.5. So she get moved up to the 3.5 room, I think it was. And this room has got bigger kids. Now, mind you, my granddaughter is not like the normal size of a 3.5-year-old. She's very small. She's short, okay? So these kids, a lot of them are bigger than her. You know what I mean? Which is, listen, don't mess with my granddaughter. That's just how I feel. But they all are nice. And the 2 teachers in there are mother and daughter. Now they just as cool too. They okay to me. I thought they were. Well, I don't know. They seemed friendly, okay? So this morning when I bring her in, like there's like about 5 tables in the room, like that can sit probably like 6 kids each, maybe. Yeah. So this morning she didn't want breakfast. My granddaughter didn't want breakfast because she had her little cereal bars on the way. So there's an area towards the breakfast table. That's what they call, I guess that's the eat table. There's an area for their cuppies. So I put her cuppy in a little bin so that way she can get it later on. And there's kids playing at each table. And then there's children on a rug being read a story by the other teacher, which is the daughter of the mother, because there's mother and daughter that work in there, in that classroom. So I asked my granddaughter, I said, Tato, you want to eat breakfast or you want to play with your friends? And she was like, I want to play with my friends. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go put your cuppy in the little cuppy bin. So as I'm walking back towards her, I hear the teacher saying, pick a table. Nevaeh, pick a table. And I'm like looking at her like, pick a table? What the fuck is she meaning? Because Nevaeh is on by the shelf. My granddaughter is by the shelf, like trying to pull out like a little bin of toys. And she was like, Nevaeh, pick a table, pick a table. And I look and Nevaeh stops trying to pull the bin out. And she was like, you could pick a table and play with the toys at that table. We've already pulled the toys out. And I'm like looking at her like, normally you be real sweet and nice in the morning. This pick a table bullshit, why? These little kids, why they gotta be subjected to playing with some fucking toys that you pulled the fuck out? Like, these toys don't look fun. Why would I wanna play with some motherfucking dinosaurs and cars and some Happy Meal looking fucking toys? And the tone that you said that shit in was not very appealing to me. She lucky I didn't, like, listen, I was ready to spaz off, but I had to remind myself, April, you in the classroom with these little 3.5-year-olds. Second of all, you don't want to get your granddaughter kicked out of here. And third, she might just be having a bad day, but you leave that bad day shit at the door. And I felt like she was having a bad day because the way I seen her sitting down on her phone, you could see in her face, it was not like the happy face that I'm normally used to. And she didn't greet us like she normally does. So, you know, I just brushed it off. But bitch, don't talk to my granddaughter like that, talking about pick a table. These is little kids. These are little 3-year-old toddlers. How you gonna tell them to play with what you put out on the fucking table when there's a whole classroom of shit? I said, this fucking fat, bow-legged leg bitch better hope that I don't bop her upside her motherfucking head today. That's how the fuck I felt this morning, okay? Like, don't talk to my motherfucking grandkids like that's how I felt. I don't know if it's me being overprotective, over-emotional, but I just didn't like that. These are little kids. Like, girl, go straighten your motherfucking legs. I'll kick the shit out of her and her legs straighten them shits out for her. That's how I felt. I had to call my daughter so I can calm the fuck down. Not even calm down, but I had to walk away. And like, once I walked away and out that door, I just started to call my daughter because like, listen, this is what just went down and I'm gonna need you to talk to me for a second because I really don't want to go in there and talk to that bow-legged bitch, okay, about her fucking demeanor. She seemed like she was having a bad day. Anyway, that was how my morning started out. And I wasn't too happy with the outcome. Like, I don't know, I'm already like on the fence about my granddaughter being in that room. And there's nothing wrong with the kids, but it's that she's so small and they are like much bigger than her. Some of them kids don't even look like they belong in it. They look like they need to be in the first fucking grade. Like, I can't, these 3.5 and 4-year-olds is motherfucking tall as sin. Like, who's kid, what are y'all feeding them? Anyway, that's how that went this morning. But over the weekend, like, you know, it was chill. Let me tell y'all know I'm a dog mom. I am a dog mom and I'm also a human being mom. Y'all know how I feel about my dog Pancake. That is my boo. That's my baby. Now, she is very spoiled to me, by me, and that's how it's going to be. But I do have a dog stroller, and I think I've mentioned this to you guys plenty of times. I do take her places with me. I ain't got a problem pushing a dog stroller. It has a little covering to where you can zipper it close all the way, but she's not one of those aggressive dogs. You know how I said me and Tati always be hanging out together. We always together, right? So anyway, we're in Target, okay? And we're just shopping around. I have the dog in the stroller. I just wanted to return something, but also just to window shop, like browse. You know how you just don't want to be in the house sometimes? And I like it when it's peaceful and quiet and it's not too crowded. When there's nobody in the stores, I will walk around for a little bit. But when it's crowded and there's too many people, bitch, I'm ready to go home. Okay, so we just walking around and I'm looking at, like, you know, clothes. I'm looking at the clothes in the women's section because that'd be my first stop in Target. So please tell me why. Now, mind you, I have the stroller open. I had the top open of the stroller so Pancake can look around or whatever. But she's not even looking around. She's in there laying down, like, you know, just laying, being lazy, laying. So as I'm looking through the stuff, why does fucking woman feel the need to put her goddamn hands, reach her goddamn hands inside the stroller? I said, can I help you with anything? She was like, oh, I was just checking your dog out. I said, don't put your hand in that stroller. She looked at me like if I said something in a foreign language. And she said, well, I'm sorry, you didn't have to be so rude. I said, I'm not being rude. You the one being rude. You put your hand in my dog's stroller and didn't even ask to pet her. Let alone who said she even wanted you to pet her? What if she didn't want you touching her? How do I even know what you got on your hands? I'm rude? No. I said, no, you're rude. So she just looked at me. She said, you know something, honey? You need Jesus, okay? Then she walked off. Like, my daughter comes walking towards me like, what's going on? You know, I have to tell her, it's the audacity of people. Like, there was nothing, I wouldn't mind you asking me if you could pet my dog because that's what I feel that you should do. Don't just reach your hand into somebody's stroller or shopping cart and feel like it's okay to touch their pet. Mind you, what if the dog would have just bit you? You don't know if that dog is territorial and don't like other people. What if she would have just snapped her motherfucking fingers off or just bit her? Then what? Whose fault is it then? Mine's? Nah, no, it's not, bitch. It's yours. Nobody told you to put your motherfucking hands in the stroller. This is how I be feeling like when I'm out in public. Now, for one, I'm really not big on people asking me, can they pet her? So when people do ask me that, a lot of times I'd be like, I would rather you not because she's temperamental. Even though she's not, I just feel like, what do you get out for petting somebody's dog? Like, you never gonna see this dog again. You want to pet my dog and just keep moving? That's just weird to me because I'm an owner and I don't feel like when I see other people's pets that I want to pet them. I don't want to pet other people's pets. I don't want to pick up and smile at other people's pets. That's not my thing. You got your pet, I got my pet. I don't feel the need to ask people, can I pet them? I can't really stand when people ask me that sometimes, but it doesn't bother me. It just depends on the person and who and how you ask. When it be like little kids and they be just so amused by the pet, I will definitely stop. And then if their parent asks, I'll let them do it because they're little kids. And you know what I'm saying? That would make them happy. But there are some little kids that I have to stop in public too because they done put their hand in a goddamn stroller or the shopping cart, and I have to let them know, don't do that. Don't do that. I've had one lady say, well, don't touch my kid. Well, tell your kid, don't touch my goddamn dog, all right? And I always give you the stare of death, like. So that's how this weekend was. It was about a dog thing. Like, I just really feel like people should just lay off of other people's property. I would never put my hand in nobody's shopping cart to pet nothing of theirs. I don't know. I just don't feel the need to do that. Either that's, maybe I'm weird for that. Either way, you know what I'm saying? That was how my weekend was. My weekend was actually really cool. I did do some updating to my recording studio, or whatever you side of the room, whatever you want to call that. I did get a new microphone, so I hope you guys can hear me really well. I do have it on the phone noise cancellation, so I hope you guys can hear me really, really well. But other than that, we're gonna get into this real talk. Let me tell y'all, I did decide to do these two real talks together, even though they were a couple of weeks apart from one another. You know, I'm just trying to catch up. I decided to do two together because they kind of coincide with one another. What I mean by that is I can relate, they're relatable, they're very relatable, and they have a lot to do with like children or teenagers or parents. It has a lot to do with parenting, okay? These two have a lot to do with parenting, all right? But let's get into this real talk. If you have a real talk that you need me to talk about, you can go ahead and send me an email to muffinismylovers2012@gmail.com or AprilsRealTalk@gmail.com. Please put in the subject line real talk so that way I know it's a real talk. And on that note, let's just jump into this real talk. So this is the first email, okay? So these are a couple weeks apart, but like I said, I wanted to catch up on what I had, but I also felt like these would work really good together. So let me do these together. Email number 1. Should I really be charging my own daughter rent? Hi, April. I need some real talk advice because I'm really struggling with this. My daughter is 22 years old. She graduated last year and she is now working full time. She still lives at home with me, and up until now, I've been covering everything: groceries, utilities, even her phone bill. But here's the thing, she has money for herself. She goes out with her friends almost every weekend, buys new clothes, and gets her nails done every 2 weeks. Meanwhile, I'm working overtime just to keep up with bills. A friend told me I'm enabling her and that it's time to start charging her rent since she's grown and working. But I feel guilty because I don't want her to think I don't want her here or that I'm trying to profit off of my child. So what do you think? April, am I wrong for even considering asking her to pay rent while she lives at home? Or is this just teaching her responsibility? Thank you in advance, Mona. So first of all, Mona has a lot going on here. Now, I really felt like this was very relatable. This email was very, very relatable, only because, listen, I have grown children too that live at home with me, and I adore them and I enjoy them being here with me because I don't want to live by myself. I just like company, okay? But here's the thing. Some people feel like they should not charge their adult children that have full-time jobs or jobs in general to live with them. They should just allow them to live rent-free, bills-free, just live freely in their home. Meanwhile, they can spend their monies on whatever they want. Then there's other people, other parents that feel like, no, if you're gonna be grown and you're gonna live in my household, then you're gonna contribute. If you're making money, you're going to school, you got a job, you got a full-time job, you're making money, then why can't you contribute? Because if you go out into the real world, you're not gonna live like this. You're not gonna be able to live rent-free. You're not gonna be able to live bill-free. You're not gonna be able to live free food. You're gonna have to provide and pay for yourself. So they feel like it's teaching responsibilities. Now listen, Like I said, I am a parent and I have grown children that live with me as well. And my mother, when I lived with my mother and I had one child at the time and I was working, my mother did state to me that I am to give her $100 a month. And $100 ain't a lot, but it's showing me responsibility, right? This is weird to me. It's not even weird to me, the conversation, but I just can relate to it because we are supposed to teach our children responsibility. And I'm not sure, Mona, but I would never feel guilty about charging my kids rent or paying utility bills because they live here, they're grown, and they have a job, they have full-time income. Why do you want to consistently bust your ass, work overtime just to pay bills and make ends meet? That makes no sense to me. Why you have somebody that's grown as an adult living in your household, she can't contribute a few $100s a month for groceries, bills, and rent? Like, come on, let's just be so for real. Like, here's the thing. I have 3 grown women that live in my household. Now, Mumsy, granted, she just graduated from high school. She does work a full-time job somewhat. No, it's a part-time job, and she makes really good money from her part-time job. She does not go to college yet. She will not be going until after January of 2026. And she did say to me that she was going to take a 2-year break. And I did tell her, well, if you're going to take a 2-year break from college so you could work, then you're going to have to pay rent and bills too, because you need to take your ass to school. So she agreed to what I was saying. And plus, I wasn't going for it. You're going to go ahead and take your ass to school. Now, you could take off 6 months, but you're not about to take off no 2 fucking years, not under my watch, okay? Because 2 years lead to laziness, and then you didn't change your whole mind about the game of going to school. And we're not about to get comfortable over here. We're about to go do what we're supposed to do and not allow our brains to get dumb and just be too relaxed. We're not about to do that over here. So yeah, you're going to take your ass to school this coming January of 2026. Like I said, I have grown daughters that live in my household. And yeah, and in the beginning, I was paying for everything here on my own. But as time went on, my kids got jobs. So when we first moved here, I was paying for everything because I was the grown adult in here. But now listen, I got a 24-year-old, I got a 28, 29-year-old. Is Tati 29 or 28? I think she's 29. Okay, I have one that's 18. So you mean to tell me, Mona, that you okay with working and busting your ass every day, all day, overtime, just to make ends meet while your daughter just lives freely and lounges at your house? Like, it's just, that's the thing to do. I feel like not only does it teach responsibility, but it teaches respect, okay? And on top of that, you cannot take care of your kids for the rest of your life or their lives. You can't do that for as long as you live. They're grown, and it's not being mean to your kids. It's not being like you profiting. How are you profiting off of your children by asking them to help out with paying for some of the bills around here? How is that profiting? You know what I'm saying? That's not profiting. That's working together. That's what you call family. And in my household, my daughters pay rent too, because I pay rent. And not saying that they pay more than me. I pay the most, but they pay rent too. And when times are hard or I need to help with a bill, like in the summertime, and my electricity bill is higher in the summertime because we got to keep the AC on. So why would I want to pay $500 a month for electricity when everybody's reaping the benefits of their ass staying cool? No, y'all all gonna benefit. Y'all all gonna chip in. We're gonna chip in and we're gonna work together. And we're gonna pay this rent together and we're gonna pay these bills together. Because I guarantee you, if you go out there and you decide to live on your own, you won't be getting no help from anybody but yourself. And you're gonna have to do all of this on your own. So why have to do all of that on your own when you can stay here with me and we can work together? It's not about profiting off of your children. It's about helping one another. Y'all are a family. Why are you the one struggling, Mona? Some people may not agree with me on this, like, oh, I would never charge my kid rent. That's you. That's on you. And I know one person really good with that. When my ex-husband was living here in my household in Arizona, he felt like I shouldn't charge my grown children that live here rent. They were grown at the time. My daughter Tati was grown. She was living here, okay? My son Wuzzle, before he passed away, he was grown and he was living here. They all had jobs, okay? My daughter Nay, she was not grown yet, but he felt like I shouldn't charge any of them rent because those are my children. That makes no sense to me. So because somebody is your child and they 20-something years old living in your household, you shouldn't allow them to pay rent? If that was the motherfucking case, if people was not charging, if parents weren't charging their grown kids rent to live with them, I would still be the fuck at home with my mama, okay? Trust me when I tell you, if all parents decided to not charge their children rent, then girl, I would still be at home with my mama and you would never see me, okay, on YouTube, because I would be too busy living the best life of my life, living at home rent-free with my mother. Oh yes, indeedy. Come on now, let's just be so for real here. We are parents. We're supposed to teach our children responsibilities. We're not supposed to allow them to take over, to run over us and to take advantage. What's going to happen when you are an elderly woman, Mona, and you need your children's help? They're not going to look at you any different. You will not be looked at any different. You're not trying to profit off of your children. You're trying to allow them to be responsible and tell them and slick them, allow them to see this is what we do in the real world. This is how it is, okay? Profit? Bitch, let me tell you something. The one thing that I'm not gonna do is bust my ass and work harder and harder while my kids that are grown just works and goes to work and spends their full money on everything while I'm still sitting here. That's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't find like that's fair to the parent. And it's not about finding it fair, but I don't find it fair. It's not fair to me for the parent to still continuously pay for their grown children's necessities like rent and cell phone bills. Now, Mona, your daughter is 22 years old and you're still paying for her cell phone bill. She could at least give you the money towards her cell phone bill. If you added her to your line, if you added her to your phone line, which, you know, helps her save money, then you should still make her pay that part of her bill to you. I'm not about to keep paying my daughter's cell phone bills. Let me tell you, I have 4 lines on my cell phone contract. I have 4 lines. 4 lines equal $100 for me a month. That's because the more lines you have, the cheaper it gets. I have Cricket. Now, Cricket for a single person is $60, but the more people you add, the cheaper it is. However, I'm not really sure if that still goes like that because I'm on one of their grandfather accounts because I've had the same phone number in this account for 12 years. My 2 daughters are on my phone line, Mumsy and Nay. But as you got older and you grown, you can at least give me that $30. I say $30 because if you go to Cricket as a single person, you're going to spend $60. And after taxes, it's like $65 because my daughter Tati has her own plan. And she doesn't want to be on mine, which is fine. She's doing the adult thing and she's paying for her own cell phone. But my daughters, Mumsy and Nay, they could give me half, $30, or get your own line and pay $60. So what do? They give it to me because I'm not going to be paying your phone line. $30, I think, is really, really cheap for a cell phone bill every month. And if you can't give that to me, then I don't know what to tell you, but you just going to be not talking to nobody, or you only going to be able to talk to people when you're in a Wi-Fi zone, okay? But here's the thing, Mona. Why would you feel guilty? That's her motherfucking cell phone bill, not yours. This is her necessities, not yours. I'd be damned if I would watch my kids just have a good time, a merry old life while I'm tired and pooped the fuck out from working so hard to keep the light bill on and to pay the rent. There's no motherfucking way. While they live carefree, nah. Because what's going to happen when your daughter gets out there into the real world, Mona, she's going to probably end up basking in the sun and enjoying her life so much, she may need help with some of her bills because she might be behind because she's irresponsible. And then she's going to be looking for you for handouts because she's behind on paying bills and rent at her own place. Teach your daughter responsibility and stop feeling guilty about teaching your children to be grown adults, because if you don't, you just enabling them to be fucking babies all their lives. And then also you're going to be enabling them to be in your pockets for the rest of your life. But I don't know about you, Mona, or anybody else, but I damn sure don't want my children to be up in my fucking pockets for the rest of their life or my life. Not today, not tomorrow, not any given day. I love my children to death, but yeah, you're going to pay bills living here. You're going to pay rent living here, because if you don't want to pay bills living here, then go live on your own, because that means that I don't have to live in this big ass house by myself. I can go somewhere else and live a whole lot cheaper. But until then, we all gonna come together and we're gonna live together, we're gonna work together, and we're gonna pay for shit together. That's what makes it affordable. Girl, please, Mona, get your life together, stand stern, pull up your big girl panties on, and step to your daughter in a nice way and have a conversation with her and let her know, honey, it's time for you to pay rent here and on your own bills. On your own bills, meaning get her prepared and ready for the new world and the world when she leaves outside of your house. This is one thing that I'm gonna say to you, Mona, and I hope you don't take offense to it. You're not guaranteed to be here tomorrow. What happens if you're no longer here tomorrow? What's your daughter gonna do? What's she gonna do? Not saying that I wish anything ill upon you, but let's just be for real, for real. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. And when you have grown children, allow them to be grown. Stop hindering them growth. It starts at home, and that's a responsibility that can start at home. Allow her to help you pay your bills. Stop working harder and not smarter. Okay, moving right along. Okay, so this one also was like really, really like, you know what I'm saying? This really it didn't really set me off, but it kind of did like piss me off in this email that I read, only because I am a grandmother of 6 grandchildren. So I feel where she's coming from and I can relate to that. However, each person is different. And I just feel like I've been through my own things in life with my mom. And so me as a mother, I can honestly respect some of the things that my mother has taught me and was kind of really strict about as I was growing up. So let me just read this to you. She subject this, am I a bad grandma for saying no? Hi, April. I'm 55 years old and a new grandma to a sweet little boy. I love him more than anything, but I feel like my daughter thinks it's my job to babysit whenever she needs me. I still work full time. I'm tired and I honestly want to enjoy my free time. But my daughter will call last minute asking me to watch the baby so she can go out with her friends. And when I say I can't, she makes me feel guilty. She'll say, well, you're the grandma. That's what you're supposed to do. But I raised my kids already. I don't mind helping sometimes, but I don't want to be the automatic babysitter just because I'm family. So here's my question. Am I being selfish for putting my foot down? Or do moms these days just expect too much from grandparents? Sincerely, Nene. So now y'all can see where I relate to in this subject about grandchildren and being a grandmother. Now, first of all, I'm gonna just say this. I was a teen mom. I was pregnant when I was 17. I gave birth a couple of months I gave birth a couple months after I turned 18. Literally 2 months after I turned 18, I gave birth to my first child. So I was a teen mom. I lived at home with my mom, okay? I didn't have a job. I didn't finish high school. You know what I'm saying? So I lived with my mom. And the plan was for me to go back to school and get my GED at this college at night, and LaGuardia College in Queens. And my mom would watch my son while I did so. Well, for like about a week or two, it worked out. You know what I'm saying? I was good with it. But after being there for 2 weeks, I was then told by registration that I was not a candidate for the GED program because I was only 18. And at that time, in 1992, you had to be 19 years old to be able to obtain your GED, which was ridiculous. But so I had to drop out. And because of that, you know, it took me some years, like years, to get my GED. And I did so. However, my mom already had explained to me when she said that she would watch my son while I went to school. I'm only gonna watch your son for you to either go to school or have a part-time job. If you wanna go and hang out with your friends, you need to take your baby with you because I'm not gonna be babysitting. And my mother made that loud and clear. And at first, you know, it bothered me like, damn, Pam, you act like, you know what I'm saying, I'm asking you for the world. This is your grandson too. You act like you really do like him and love him the way you be acting, but you don't even wanna watch him for me. Like my mom was really strict with my son. But I guess, you know what I'm saying, I'm a teen mom. I really didn't know much. So my mom set ground rules. And I'm very appreciative into the things that she's instilled in me. And I'm also happy and glad that she put her foot down towards the I'm not babysitting your child, because I did have friends who had children as well. And their parents was always watching their kid. Like we would be hanging out in the projects and I would have my son. And there was a couple of others that had their son or their kids too. But some of them that had kids, now their kids was at home with their grandparents while my friends was just chilling. And now I see why my mother was like, nah, I'm not watching your kid unless you're going to school to better yourself. Now, mind you, I have 6 grandchildren, okay? Now, 4 of them no longer live here in Arizona. They moved to Georgia, okay? Now, before there was 4 of them, my son had 3 boys, okay? Him and his woman, they lived on like the other side of town, about 10 minutes drive from my house. They had 3 sons. Now, you know, I would go pick up my oldest grandson, my eldest, my first grandson, every morning, and I would bring him home every day for school and after school. Now, I understand that these young parents, any parents need a time out, need a night out, need a day out. I respect that and I get that, but this is my thing. And this has always been my thing. I have no problem babysitting my grandchildren, but what you're not gonna do is think that you're gonna come to me the day before or the day of and ask me to watch your children. That's not what the fuck I'm here for. I always said, and I let it be known, if you want me to babysit because y'all wanna go out or whatever, you need to give me a notice. You need to give me a heads up. You need to ask me in advance. And this is how I feel, because I'm not allowing you to just drop your kids off over here. This is not what I'm gonna do. I didn't do that with my kids, so you're not about to do that with yours. Y'all know y'all was always with me. I didn't drop y'all off to no fucking body unless it was daycare so I could take my ass to work. But other than than that, I didn't drop my kids off to my mama. I didn't drop them off to anybody. My children were with me. And if I did need a break and I did need a babysitter, I hired one, okay? I did have a girl named Jennifer, and me and my husband would use her when we needed to go out and have dinner or, you know, go to the movies, just enjoy ourselves for the evening out. That was a babysitter. She wasn't family to us. We found her on that website. What is it called? I can't remember that website, but it was a woman's name and people would put their services on there. So we found her through that. She was a young girl. She was a teenager. She had a little babysitter's license. She had a little CPR. And she would come to the house. You know, we interviewed her right along with her mother, and she would come to the house. Her mom would drop her off because she was a teenager. She would drop her off and she would communicate with us while we were out. We paid her. That's what the fuck we did. We paid her. Now, granted, my husband, he did have his parents living in the same town. My mother lived in New York City. I lived in upstate New York. So there was no way that I could just drop my children off to my mom and ask her to babysit for me and my husband. But we wasn't about to ask his mother neither. We was responsible. We hired a babysitter. Sometimes that's not an option for everybody. But what you're not going to do is use your parents as a go-to default babysitter for whenever the fuck you please. That has happened to me on several occasions, meaning not my daughter Tati, but my son Jerron. He was good for trying to do that shit to me. And then would catch an attitude and always would say dumb shit like, oh, but you'll watch Tati's children anytime, but you just can't watch ours anytime. First of all, I don't watch Tati's children anytime. They live with me and we live together in the same household. So stop using her as an option to just complain. And when she goes to the grocery store, she's going for the household. So why can't they stay here? Just because their mother is going to the store doesn't mean that they gotta go with her. She's gonna tell me that she's gonna leave the kids, or can I leave the kids with you while I go to the grocery store? Sure, why not? You're going to get groceries for everybody else in the house. You'll be back soon. You're not going to hang out. When my son would go hang out, he felt like it was okay to just tell me the day of or the day before, well, can you watch them for me because I want to go hang out. I want to go do this. I want to go record a video with my friends. I want to go record a song with my friends. Nah, I got things to do, buddy. I have a little book that has a schedule of my shit that I have to do. And that there's nowhere in there that says, watch grandkids. Like I said, you need to give me advance notice. And I don't feel guilty. I don't feel bad. I will easily tell you no. The reason why I would say no is because I'm so used to saying yes all the fucking time to where it's gotten me in enough fucking trouble in my life. So I say no. There have been plenty of times when they dropped their children. My son dropped his son off to me. You drop your baby off at 10 o'clock at night so y'all could go hang out. I'm not a person that wants to watch somebody's children at 10 o'clock at night, especially if one of the children cry all night long because they don't want to be without you. Girl, listen, I'm not going to sit here in my household and be irritated by a baby that's crying nonstop for 10 hours. You dropped your baby off between 9 and 9:30 and 10 o'clock, and you didn't come back to the house until 5 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, I'm sitting up all night long with your baby that won't be quiet. I'm sorry, but you have to give me advance notice to watch kids. I need to prepare myself for this shit. I love all my grandchildren the same, but I'm not going to be a default babysitter for anybody. There is a time and a point in your life where you need to learn how to say no. Nene, there is a time and a place for everything. And when you get a certain age, Nene is 55 years old. It's time to enjoy your life, girl. I'm not saying you cannot enjoy it with your grandchildren, because you can. That's a definite. They are family. It's a must. But we cannot allow our children to make us feel guilty for not wanting to watch their children. It's called being responsible. You laid up and had that child, not me. I did not ask nobody to watch my children. I paid for a babysitter when I felt it was time for me and my husband or my ex-husband to hang out and have a good night out. We paid for the babysitter. Now, there's nothing wrong with family watching your children, but I really do feel like you need to give your parents or your family members a notice in advance. Ask them in advance, hey, would you mind or can you babysit XYZ on this particular day at this particular time? It's called communication. And let me just say this. I've seen like a lot of different debates though about this subject, about like women feel like as us being grandparents, we are supposed to watch our grandkids. I love my grandkids to pieces, okay? But you are not about to force your children on me. I've had my children, I've raised them, I've done my share in time with them, and you are not about to force me to watch your children because we blood relatives. Girl, I will pack up and move to another motherfucking state. No, Nene, I feel like, you know what? you do need to put your foot down, and you should put your foot down. She did say, I raised my kids already. I don't mind helping sometimes, but I don't want to be the automatic babysitter just because I'm family. So here's my question. Am I being selfish for putting my foot down? Or do mom these days just expect too much from grandparents? You're not being selfish for putting your foot down. This is what you are supposed to do. This is what you are required to do. This is what you should do, because if you do not put your motherfucking foot down, your foot, your neck, your legs, your back are going to be hurting, because you're going to be all over the place chasing after your grandkids, okay? So you best to put your foot down, because if you don't, you're going to need that shit to run around and chase after your motherfucking grandkids all day long, because your daughter's just going to keep dropping your grandson off and just dropping your grandson off. Put your foot down is what you should do. It's not about being selfish. It's not about feeling bad. It's not about feeling guilty, okay? Nene, keep your foot down and stand on business. As a grown woman, this is how you need to teach your own children when to grow up. You're 55 years old, and it's time for you to enjoy yourself. You can definitely enjoy yourself with your grandchildren, because I do. But let you be the judge in time of when you want to enjoy time with your grandchildren. Who's to say that you just don't want to get up sometimes and just go about your business, go on a vacation with Nene by herself, solo, or with your man? I'm not sure, because she has one. She didn't say so, but I'm just putting it out there. That at the age of 55, I feel like she should be able to just pack up and go whenever she feels like it. If she wants to go out of town or wants to go hang out with her own friends at her own convenience, then she can do so. Just like your daughter feels like it's okay for her to get up and do things when it's convenient to her, you should do the same, Nene. So keep your foot down and keep standing on business, because if you don't, your daughter's gonna walk all over you. Make her give you advance notice to watch your grandson. It's a blessing to have grandchildren. We love them, but we do not want to be feeling like we're inconvenienced because of them. And that's bottom line. When I would watch my grandsons for my son and my daughter too, you gotta give me a notice. I don't even, listen, we live in the same household, but Tati would still ask me in advance, hey, if you can't respect me and you feel like it's okay for you to dump your kids off at my house whenever you feel like it, then that means you ain't got no respect for me. You don't respect the fact that I may have a life too. You don't respect the fact that I may have something to do. That means you don't respect me. And when you could just feel like it's okay and easy to come over and just leave your child at my house, then no, you have no respect for me. And therefore, I'm gonna have to stand on business, and I'm gonna put my foot the fuck down, period. And you are doing the right thing, Nene, period. And for those of you that don't agree with this subject, please let me know. I want to know your comments regardless. If you agree, you disagree on either one. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely never take offense to you disagreeing with what I have to say, because everybody is, everybody has their own opinions. Just like everybody has their own asshole, we all have our own opinions. And you know what? That's your right. But I want to know how you guys feel in the comments below about the first email about not charging their grown children rent to live with them, and also the second email about not being the default grandparent, babysitter. You know what I'm saying? But I love you all. Make sure you rate, comment, subscribe down below. If you haven't done so, leave your comments. Check the pinned comment out as well. And I will see y'all in the next one.